Hello, it's me again, der Bayer, and today we're doing something a little bit different. A bit of a personal challenge, you could say, wrapped up in a new video format for the channel. The goal is quite simple, but for me it's going to be really tough. I want to design a complete car in automation in just 60 minutes, and you get to see the whole unedited process. So for you it may be nice to learn a few things here and there, and for me it is a challenge to actually finish a believable car design in this limited time frame and reduce my insane editing times. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I can spend hours agonizing over a single headlight or vent. I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I usually take, well, way too much time to finish a car design. But the bigger challenge is probably that English is not my first language. As you might have heard, I'm not used to talking non-stop, designing and trying to translate my ideas all at the same time. So my brain might melt a little bit and I definitely will make mistakes, which I usually remove in editing. So please be patient with me and we'll see if I can do it and if this format works or not. I do not have the highest hopes, but maybe some of you may find the even more than usual slow-paced format interesting. So what you're about to watch is 1 hour of completely unedited footage. No cuts, no speed-ups, just a genuine real-time look at the struggle and the process. Since this format is new, I'd love to get your feedback. Are these real-time, relaxed design streams something you'd want to see more often? Let me know in the comments if I should make this a regular thing, maybe with different time limits and of course with different themes. Alright, the clock will start to tick. Let's see what we can create in 60 minutes. Wish me luck. Alright, here we are. 1 hour to go. I want to build a basic starter car for Fruinia. So I'm here in the sandbox of course, but I want to build a small car, small city car. I think this body is new in the Arilma update and based on the Fiat Topolino. So let's create something similar to that, but with my own touch of course. Yeah, it's not only design stream, I will also do the engineering, but that is usually something that can be done quite quickly. So for the front suspension I want to go for independent, the rest is basic steel, leather, construction, and for the rear let's go for solid axle. Solid axle are not that good in automation, but I think it makes sense and it's just realistic. So a little bit of morphing. I think it already looks quite good. It has a 2-meter wheelbase and will be something a bit special. I took a look at the body before, but other than that I'm starting this really from scratch. I will do all the colors, everything, just see what we have here. I want to keep it looking cheap, at least also cheap to produce, and yeah, somehow keep the spirit of a very cheap starter car. I like that it goes out a little bit and this tip here might look quite unique in the end. Yeah, this one I think rounded would be easier to manufacture. So let's do it like this, and to make it special, a really narrow front there as well. I'm also in the design shed here in the Fruinian one. Long time since I've been here. Alright, where have I been? Yeah, hood angle. Keep it quite aerodynamic. We won't have a lot of power, so I want to that this cuts through the air at 80 kilometers an hour. Probably I'm not doing a lot of changes here. I might also get rid of the rear wheel covers. They look too premium for me. We can change also the width of the body, but I'll keep it narrow. We're almost 3 minutes in, so it takes quite some time to try out the different options here. It will look a bit weird because it's such a small car, but the real Topolino also did. So it's okay if it does. Yeah, I think that's basically it. And for the paint now I want to go for two-tone. Also the Topolino I think had some, so I'll keep the lower part black, and that should be the same for every single car basically. And normally I just go for a little bit less shininess to make it look a bit older. And yeah, the upper part will be in a different color so that there's some customization possible. But yeah, the base of the car, the bottom part would be still... yeah, the bottom part of the car would be still the same for every car in the lineup, and thus cheaper to produce. Maybe that's a good idea, I don't know. Maybe it's cheaper to just shove it into the paint, into the paintworks and paint it as a whole. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going for a little bit of beige here. Not too saturated. Really nice. Also not too shiny. No flake. I think it's important for the very first time. And then let's just quickly paint all of the other paint slots that we have. And this is now the rear wheel cover. Let's use this one. It's a bit of a lot of work. It has so many paint slots. The roof is this one, and the front I think is in the trim section. Yeah, there we are. All right. Yeah, visual design later. I just put some rims on there. Just standard steel rims. What do we have here? Hubcaps, or even base ones. This only has 3 screws like the Citroën 2CV had. Yeah, maybe that's what we need. And we will also paint those wheels in black, I think, for now. We could also go for the inner part, maybe like this. Okay, still the drums are sticking out, we come to that later. Standard front engine rear wheel drive. We need a new engine. I'm not caring about the names right now. Maybe you can suggest something, and then we can reuse that car also in for later purposes. I want to have a really small engine, and so it's really fun also to drive in BeamNG. And maybe we'll do after the hour. We'll do a little bit of that. Just some driving around and with something low powered for a change. I'm just choosing everything really cheaply and quickly adjust the tech pool for the car and the engine to 0. I like that more. Light components, no balancing stuff in there. No fancy things, single barrel, single carb. Here in Fuenia we have leaded gasoline 92. Compact intake, compact cast. So everything really basic. And I aim for about 20 horsepower. So really nice. Can rev maybe there, 5.6. Softer springs, of course, and more compression. Let's check in our for graph mode until this one turns yellow, then we're good. Yeah, 1 click less than 2. And we are currently at 19 horsepower. Excellent. We can use our for graph mode also to adjust different things. Yeah, I don't want to go too small in the intake and limit the airflow too much. Also for the fuel system we can use a larger carb, because this one was quite limiting, the single one. But I want to run it lean. And then let's see. Take a look at our power again. 19.3 horsepower, so we might need a little bit more cam. And just not getting there, but if we say the carb is a little bit larger, then we are at an, yeah, I think we can turn it up just a little bit, and we have 20 horsepower. I just wanted to say, if we just have 19.6, then we can also round it up to 20. And now, again, very basic. I want to keep this very basic, so let's make this interesting with just 2 gears. And of course cross-ply tires. Probably hard long life or even utility, but hard long life probably is right. 125s I think is also plenty. Yeah, let's take the 125s and adjust the alignment a tiny bit. I still need to fix the brakes and the brake offset at some point. I don't want to bring the tires out all the way. Like this I think it's fine. Here in the rear we can also bring them out. Like this. Okay, and then we need to go into the advanced trim to bring the front axle in. Oh, no, not that one. I think it's the brake offset, yes. This is what we can do here. Or even I think I need to do the front track width. Chassis track width. No. No, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, that's the only thing here. Wheel offset. And then I have to bring the track width back in, that it looks alright. And bring the rear wheels back out. And then we are there. I hope it doesn't completely mess things up in BeamNG. Does it still look alright here? It's okay. Maybe I can still morph the body a little bit. Yeah, I can bring it in slightly. Should be quite oversteery with a narrow rear track. Okay, now I limit myself for not editing the morphs anymore. And we'll quickly go through here, make it somewhat alright. This is just a 2-seater, but also the Fiat Topolino was. So again here, just basic interior. I'll keep it like this. Rack and pinion or recirculating ball. It also might have had recirculating ball one, but rack and pinion still feels better. None or standard 40s. Standard 40s is safety glass, bumpers. Okay, bumpers are tested for impact absorption. Might be a bit much, but let's use standard 40s. Normal stuff here. Bit of toe. No rear sway bar. We'll have one in the front. And there we go. Yeah, we can also use positive camber for ultimate non-cornering abilities, and then we get nice score here as well. But the cornering is really bad, so this will be special. 9 degrees of roll angle, but I don't think we can make it much lower. 8.3. Yeah, that's, if that's how it is, then it is like this. Let's bring front force down, also rear, also the pad type. Really squishy brakes. Okay. That's about it. Yeah, people don't like it. And why is that? City is not unlocked. Okay, that makes sense, that the demographic doesn't exist. Probably should speed up a bit. Almost 15 minutes are gone. Where is my market screen? Ah, that's emissions stuff. Yeah, I'm not too used to the new layout here. Yeah, there it is. Let's say city car is not there. Commuter budget. They want 4 seats. That's not good. Fun. No. There's no good demographic for a 2-seater. That's a bit of a bummer. Don't choose. Just choose family. I cannot choose anything there in the rear, but that's okay. Yeah, let's take a look again at the drivetrain, if that's alright. I think it is. First gear a little longer. We have a top speed of 96. That's pretty good, actually. And I'll not optimize it any further. I think it will drive alright. It will be something really special. It won't do good in campaign because it just doesn't meet any target market. But for me, that's alright for now. So let's have some fun and do visual design. Still have 45 minutes. We'll see if I can also do a tiny bit of interior design. That might be nice. Where is the transparency setting? I'm missing my sidebar. There it is. I want to look inside the car as well. And maybe let's also paint the chassis either in black or in... does happen if I paint it. Just the underside is painted, and so let's take black for this. The inside, unfortunately, now we have a carpet setting. This is really nice, and of course I don't have a carpet. I'll just have it also black, probably. That's the platform. That's really nice that I finally can get don't have to line everything out there inside. Okay, we have chrome trim around the windows. I think that is alright. Now the good thing, and why I wanted to start this in this early time frame, is that early cars are a little bit more simple. And it's probably easier to do this within 1 hour, and just when I'm finally used to things, then I can, or to this format, then I can try to do something a bit more complicated. So earlier cars here even had just 1 headlight. I'll do 2, and the question is just, we want like on the Citroën, something that is more of a 3D mode, I'd say. Just need to find those, and this is probably eating the most time, searching for the right fixtures. So I just want to something on little stands there, basically. And these preview images don't always help. And I don't want to go full on. I have to design it completely in 3D from multiple fixtures. Thought there was something. That's not the right one. Yeah, just for the sake of simplicity, let's use something like this here and put it in 3D mode. And then those are actually also huge. Need to make sure that the hood can still be opened. I think back in the day they would not have something really standardized. So I'm hesitating. Should I downscale them a little bit, but I think I'll keep them. And I put chrome on them. No, that's too much. Let's use black. And I just want to make sure that it exports nicely. Turn on the front lights, see how it looks like. No brightness. Probably the rear needs to be. Oh, ouch, my face. Why is it so bright? Yeah, this is probably off your screen. The lighting controls snap to the right of my ultra wide, so sorry for that. So let's choose. Yeah, this whole material stuff also takes a lot of time. Especially as I have so many non-standard materials in there. Okay. Now let's get them up a bit. And then use something to make it look like they're not attached to the body. Now they are properly floating. Yes. And then get some stands there. We could also use some from mirrors. That might also be a good idea. Let's use a classic mirror here. And then just make everything transparent. That shouldn't be there. Very good. And for later, for detailing, I can even create a small hole in there, maybe. For the grill, I just say let's go for sausage vents, because I like them, and we can make it nice and detailed without too much effort. Just make sure that it's transparent and small and mirrored, and then let's angle it. Is that too much? I think it's alright. I'll turn the headlights off for now. And then let's just copy that. Problem is, now that it's angled, I cannot just move it down. So I need something to guide me. Probably let's add a bumper bar. Just something to guide the offset that I want to have. Probably should I should move them by hand. with the arrow keys and get something that's equally spaced. We'll just have to do it by eye. Right. 24 minutes in, or 23. So I should speed up a little bit. This is actually nice, I don't know. It also doesn't have to be nice, it should look functional and believable. That's all I want. It's all over the place. OCD triggered. I should have aligned them to the horizon. Probably then it wouldn't be all that much over the place. It has cardinal lock on, so it's alright already. Yeah. Doesn't make a difference. But doesn't look all too good, right? Yeah, let's do it like this. And then bring back the bumper bar. I want to keep that one. Color it in the primary car color. And make it a little bit less pronounced. Still too much. Just to give some stability to the hood. Okay. Probably, as I said, it won't look very good, but that's okay. Some bumper. Yeah, the bumper also needs to be cheap and fragile. Again, bumpers are something that just you cannot see anything from the preview images. That's too massive. I just want something very thin. I will never get this finished, probably not with the interior. It takes so long. Yeah, these are the right ones that I was looking for. And I'm not sure if these are properly meant to be centered. Oh god. Why is it so weird? Just want to have this there. Align it to the horizon. Okay. Is this... I don't think they are symmetrical, and that's the problem. Yeah, they are definitely not symmetrical. So this is more something for having two of those. And I think this is the symmetric setup. Definitely 3D. Have it attached below that thing there. to have something a bit more rounded or not? Maybe these. Yep. And have them in Chrome. That's the premium stuff. Just regular steel is good enough. And it's still not... it's just a pain in the ass. They are not symmetric, and why do you release something that's not symmetric? That's a mod, by the way, so it's not... it's just awful. Need to do something else. I cannot be bothered. We're just half an hour in and not even done with the front. Also, you shouldn't go into the details before you have the rest of the basics done. We don't really have good bumper bars that are made for those old cars. So I will just create my own again. Steel, steel, steel. Oh no, that one can be bodied colored. Oh, let's bring that somewhere here. Then let me first place the number plate, which is also very important. I'm duplicating this now to get the backside on there as well. Make it a little bit larger. And this one transparent. Too many number plate textures that I never use. And no, this one also needs to be plastic. Plastic, plastic, plastic. There you are. There we go. I should actually try to have more basic fixtures on my car and not do everything by hand. That would be really helpful. But that's not how I work. Maybe we can create something with this. It's definitely not what I wanted this thing to look like. Just way too massive and not nice. Let me just turn that one. Wrong axle. So let's do it like this. Question is just how do we attach the number plate? Still not happy with the bumper, but I need to do something else now. Let's continue. Wipers. Premium maybe, with 2 wipers or just 1? I'll just add 1 for now. Slightly off center. Smaller, of course, and still too large. And also it's in 3D mode. We need 2D mode. And I think like this it could work. Okay, let's do it like this. And then very quick door handle. Just need to make sure that it's the right chrome texture, that actually it's shiny. That's good enough. I just see that our wheel nuts are colored. And that's not a good thing. But there's also not... there's no color for it. Oh no. Yeah, so we'll have to keep it. Yeah, I also don't like the hubcaps in there. So let's just keep it like this. Now, what else is really necessary? What I would like to do is have vents here, like on the original Topolino. Vents that you could open from the inside to vent the interior. That's probably something for a little later. Also, if I had enough time, I would line this one to have this welding seam here going around that was so common back in the day. But I don't think we have the time today. Really nice is that we have now this fixture offset. But I need to place it in 3D so that I can align it. And 3 Indian lumber plates. I'm still not sure what I have to do with the rear. Also, do I see it correctly that we don't have any seam here for the boot? That's actually pretty bad. So we definitely need something there to open it. And I promise to keep it basic. And I need a turn there. Probably the small one. Small is too large, tiny. There we go. And bring it down there. There we go. That's good enough. And now that it's part of such a thing, we can also try to use body molding there for the number plate. We do have something here, right? Yeah. Most of it very modern, though. Probably. Yeah. Not really suited. So let's bring the number plate back. And a handle on there. Not nice. And maybe this one. Just too large. And I want to replace that one here with this. Okay, more than 40 minutes in. I don't see the interior in this one. Maybe we do that another time. Taillight 1950s. I always choose the wrong axle. This is what I wanted to do. Yeah, but probably it's not the right one. In the 1950s, there were basically no regulations what you needed to have on the car, so you could get away with something really, really basic. And if you really wanted to cheap things out, then you would just slap something like this on there. And in the very cheap cars, especially French cars, they didn't even care about proper alignment, just slap something on like this. I don't really think that looks nice. So again, maybe I want to put something on a bumper. This one might actually work. It's simple enough. But something a little curved would also be nice. I think that is the one we are going to use. I think that's not too bad. And we'll also use them in the front and put the taillights on top of it. Yeah, now I'm a little bit torn by that front bit. Doesn't really help us. What if we split it, then we again have the problem that it doesn't look right with the number plate. of course. Now if you could also open the hood with that, and that would be alright. And now let's just use the number plate on the side there, I guess. Or you wouldn't use any number plate. I don't know if many countries used number plates back in the day, also on the front. So let's just use this. If I could get rid of that extra bit, that would be super nice. I cannot. Maybe we'll use, for this time, we'll use the other format of the Fuinian number plate. Normally I don't do that. I think here it is okay. Then we'll also use it here. But we don't have a lot of time left, 15 minutes. So you see how little you can actually achieve, and I thought I tried at least this time to be a bit quicker, but I am not. Now for the taillights, I just go for 2 basic taillights. I think they are somewhere. Yeah. These are the ones. Ah, they're massive. Had them in mind to be a little bit smaller. But yeah, we can just move them. Um, 3DS, and then snap them. Black on the outside. Bit of steel there. Brake lights, yeah, we need brake lights and tail lights, so I keep them on brake for now. And I completely missed adding an exhaust. So just something really, really basic. Straight signal. And tiny, of course. And not chrome, but steel. And why doesn't it connect to the engine? Let's wiggle the engine again. Still not connected. I don't know why. Is the engine in there? Yes. And there's the pipe. And it just ends somewhere. Maybe let's choose the engine orientation again. So nothing I can do here. Just searching things have changed a little bit. Where is my front longitudinal? There it is. Yeah, now it's connected. Okay. Still a bit large. Okay, what else is missing to make it believable? Yeah, of course a badge. Although it's a bit hard to do now with this. And I really wanted to do something around here. And the venting. For the vent we can just use a fuel cap, and we also missed the fuel cap, of course. So there we go. This is the vent you can pull out, basically. And then it will lead air into the interior. And then a fuel cap. It's massive. Okay. It's crazy. This is almost an hour. Let me do something here with those seams. I just need to do that. I think it would add so much. The angle is probably a bit too much. So yeah, we have to use multiple parts here. Don't forget to mirror, of course, and then use a little less, 7.5 degrees. It's almost nothing. But that's also the largest radius that we have. Why is it so short? I don't want to use too many pieces. Probably should extrude it a little bit further. That's the green one. 2 times that. Okay. So it won't be perfect. I'm just trying to get something done within an hour. And maybe for less committed campaigns, I might also do that in the future. So Cisalpino, of course, was very, very important to me to get that one right and to make those cars look nice. But I cannot do that for every single campaign, I believe. So I might need to reduce my effort just a little bit in the future. I hope you don't mind, but also I want to have more gameplay, just playing normal companies and not always focusing on this must be the best car ever. So I hope you understand that. You can spend so much time here. But I still have a few minutes, and yeah, interior is something that takes so much more time if you want to do it right. So I just skipped that. For the sake of some details here, I still need to do the badging. I think that's still important. And then we should have the most important details on the car. Getting a bit low there. And I don't know how good the job was that I did. I'm trying to talk and trying to communicate my thoughts on this. I know there were no major big decisions, and this is not very sophisticated design. And probably not something one would argue forever about it, but it's just very functional, and that's what I wanted to go for this time. If you really do modern car design, then it just takes so much longer. And you have to pay attention to so many more things, and you know that there are actual designers involved to do so much work. It's their job. So no need to always think that the own car designs in automation need to be that sophisticated. So yeah, I'm just trying to have fun a little bit here and there. And make sure that, yeah, I just try out a few more things, build different cars that I normally don't build with the Cisalpina campaign. And have fun with the new features also, yeah. In Alrema, I think there are plenty of really interesting things. So we're approaching the end. But I'm also almost done. Yeah, I think this really adds something. Yeah, probably should draw that down like this there, but I think it's okay. So let's put a badge on there, and I'll probably just add basic automation badge for now. We can bring this one, yeah, with 3D mode, we can bring it out a little bit. It's not the nicest one. So let's at least make it look, or make it shiny. And we need that in the back as well. Mirrors. I forget the mirrors. So at least one we should have. If we have one wiper, then we should have a mirror. I think I still have the time for that. 2D mode. Doesn't want to go properly into 2D mode because it's just not close to the body. 2D. Align to surface, yes. Hinges. So many things I want to do. Bonnet hinge. Something that always looks weird. Align to surface as well. Make it smaller. Mirror it and still. And now for the one. For the one mirror, and then we're done. Classic mirrors. Classic mirror. So difficult to decide what you want to have. So let's go for number 6. There we go. Let's make sure. Just make it steel all the way. Except for the actual thingy there. And we're done. That's it. That's how it looks like. What do you think about it? It was fun for me, this experience and this experiment. Although I must say it is a bit stressful. Normally I do the design stuff for me really casually, and then I take 4 to 5 hours for design. Might be a bit more enjoyable, but it's just so much time, and then to edit it down, I don't know. And I don't know if you learn so much from it. So maybe in the future it's not just 1 hour, maybe we do it a little bit longer, 1.5, and then we can get a little bit more detail in maybe 2 hours with interior. But I think that's the minimum amount of time that one needs for these kinds of cars. One last thing I did after finishing, I need to bring this in a little bit more. This was just too much. Sorry, I couldn't leave it like this. But yeah, I think like this it's a little bit better. Okay, that's it. Alright, there we are in Italy, where it belongs. It's glorious, even though the rear wheels from this perspective look a little bit... the track width is not really wide enough. Other than that, it worked quite well. So even the camera positions, it didn't place any BeamNG camera positions, but they look quite okay. But we'll drive from the outside today. I'm just here with my gamepad. And so horn works, of course. And let's go to, I think it's called Cittavecchia. Car is quite quiet. Something you could optimize by getting into automation again and changing the exhaust and intake sportiness sliders. Yeah. So we're currently going downhill. We noticed that because we get quite quick very quickly. And also the car doesn't really feel stable because of the solid rear axle that we have. And the very limited track width. Yeah. In first gear it pulls quite nicely. Second gear is probably too long. Immediately drops the revs. But here, along the coast, it should be fine. We will have a small hill climb, I think, still, because we have to, oh god, cross this mountain range there. on the left. Car is still fine. Yes, glorious. Just the number plate is a bit off. Yeah, so the basic experience now building this car, it felt a bit stressful. So 1 hour is definitely not enough to build something that I'm truly happy with. I mean, it's alright. The car is okay, but if you really want something that you can identify with, then you need to invest, let's say, at least double the time. So maybe 2 hours for the visual car design, including interior, is something that I could achieve. And then not do the mechanical design of the car and the engine within that time frame. And do that in addition to that makes it also a bit easier to explain the thought process and the concept that I have in mind. And might also be a nice experience to record it, because I'm not that stressed out all the time. So yeah, as I said, this hour was a little bit stressful, and that's exactly what I try to avoid. So I would be really interested in your opinions. Is this something you would like to watch? I know it's not the easy, quickly watchable content with loads of action and lots of things going on. So it's not for everybody, but that's okay. I just want to test it out. How you think, how I feel about it, and how it overall does on YouTube. I'm not just doing it for the numbers. A little bit, yes, of course. But yeah, I want to have something maybe from time to time and have an idea for some car that I can just build it and share it. So maybe this format is something for that. I don't get stressed out immediately by having to build a full lore behind the car company. I don't need to build a consistent brand image over multiple cars. So that's also something that I sometimes enjoy, just playing automation from time to time and not think about it too much. So might be something for the future. Down there you see Portofino, nice little coastal town, and up there we already approach Civitavecchia. So far we went around this mountain, but I still want to see how it goes up the mountain, so we probably need to go through the city and uphill a bit and see how much it dies. Yeah, if you turn the steering wheel too much, the rear will immediately step out, even though it's front engine. But the solid axle does its job. Oh, beautiful. Civitavecchia. And I think we go up here. I have my lights on, so things are blinding a bit. But yeah, it's still alright, even for uphill city cruising in second gear. I'm surprised. Mighty 600cc engine, I think we have in there. Or was it 500? Still, yeah, it's even gaining speed here uphill, but the harder part will still wait for us once we leave the city here. So yeah, how can we continue from here? I think it makes sense to have a dedicated interior design session maybe, and then try to create something usable within 30 minutes. Also going into the details about how to animate things for BeamNG. might be quite interesting for a few people as well. I know there are some tutorials already there, but maybe you are interested in how I approach things. Yeah. So I'm really surprised. 20 horsepower is enough to pull this thing up here. So even though the automation demographics are complaining, I think for these early years, it's totally fine. I mean, we are driving 60 kilometers an hour. It's really chill. But yeah, maybe you can also use this car as a base for some builds you had in mind. As always, this will be available for download on my Discord. Link in description. But yeah, overall, pretty happy. And let me know what you think. And I shall see you all again very soon for a bit more dedicated and a bit more content where I really try hard. I know I still owe you also a video about my own car and the builds I want to make with it. So far I didn't feel it yet, and work has been quite stressful, so that's something for, yeah, maybe for the Christmas break, or maybe a little bit before that, we'll see. Next Cisalpina episode is basically done, just need to do the driving bits in BeamNG, and I'm struggling hard again with the Nuvia, so it might take a little bit until I tame it. But that will be definitely the next one after this. So stay tuned and see you all again very soon. Bye bye.